Hey, what's going on, everybody? We got a quick topic we're going to be discussing today. Did Aaron Rodgers lie on the Pat McAfee show just to drive his trade value down? Now, remember, he said he was, before going into retreat, he was 90% retired. Now, if you listen to the exact words of what he's saying, it almost seems like he's bitter and upset. Now, listen to the words that he says before he says 90% retired.
There was some shopping going on that they were interested in actually moving me. And at this point, I got to admit, I went in the darkness 90% retiring.
Notice how he says there was some shopping going on. And then he goes on to say, to be honest, before I went into retreat, I was 90% retired. See, now remember, at this moment when he made this statement, he was already knowing he was going to go try to play for the Jets.
10% playing. That's where my mind was. My mind was, I'm tired of this. I hadn't got back into my workouts yet. And I thought that was what was best for me. So I went in the darkness to contemplate a lot of different things. But one day I spent entirely on the reality I was retired. And one day I spent entirely on the reality that I was coming back and playing.
So he says he spent one day contemplating retirement and one day contemplating to keep playing.
That although the Packers were going to say the right thing publicly, that they were ready to move on. And I don't know what changed that or what moved that. If they just said, hey, we need to make a decision here because he hasn't made a decision yet.
Do you think maybe it was you not answering your phone or your agent not contacting and answering the phone to Brian Gutekunst? Or, what do you think is going to happen? We're just going to keep sitting on our hands and not wondering what we're going to do? So like they always say, there's always two sides to every story. So let's go see what Brian Gutekunst has to say.
Everything you and Aaron did to, I don't want to say repair the relationship, but the last 2 years after he, said everything he did a couple years ago. And he comes out a couple weeks ago and says you basically went behind his back to shop him and he didn't seem too pleased. From your perspective, how did the last couple months kind of transpire?
Yeah, I didn't really take his comments like that, and it's certainly not true. I think, as we got out of the offseason or after the season and we had a good conversation, and then we're going to have some follow-up conversations. And our inability to reach him or for him to respond in any way, I think at that point, then we just kind of I had to do my job and kind of reach out and understanding that a trade could be possible and see who was interested. But that shopping was never really part of that.
I don't know about you, but I tend to believe Brian Gutekunst more than I do Aaron Rodgers, just for the sole fact that Brian Gutekunst signed him on that mega deal just a couple of years ago. Like, that tells me he was all in. I think Rodgers was just bitter because he's seen a lot of his veteran, players come and go. And it's a part of the business, and Rodgers doesn't seem to understand that. He wants to be the GM, the quarterback, and the coach. And that's not going to happen in Green Bay. I'm Bill, the Packer fan, and I want to say thanks for watching the video, and please take the time to subscribe to the channel for more Packer content.